of Reno, where in several hours' time, Wales's Colin Jones will fight America's Milton McCrory for the World Boxing Council's welterweight championship.
I've seen McCrory once, last week, when we come over, we had a videotape of him against Roger Stafford, and he's quite impressive, you know. He's very tall, he's lean, he's got very fast hands and also punches quite a bit, so he's got everything a fighter needs, really, and all you've got to try and do is upset him and take him out of his rhythm.
How do you do that?
Well, cut him off, don't give him no room, I think is the secret, and keep as much pressure on him as possible. He's 21, he's very young to be at this standard of boxing, you know, world class, and we're going to put him under as much pressure as possible, and obviously not a bad puncher myself, we're going to hope to catch him a few early on.
Understatement from a man who is rightly regarded as the most devastating puncher in British boxing. Any fight in which Jones appears is likely to be explosive.
Oh, he's got him again! He's got him again! Unbelievable! Left hook this time. I don't think he's going to make it. His legs are gone and he's out. Oh, there's the right. That's the one. That's the one that did Lang, and that's the one that's brought the house tumbling down. Stewart's only been stopped once in 21 fights, and as I said, it looks like number 2.
Despite Jones's reputation, McCrory is heavily favoured in America. The product of Detroit's Kronk Gymnasium, he's won all 20 of his professional fights, 17 of them inside the distance. McCrory is readily compared to another Kronk fighter, Thomas Hearns, the world junior middleweight champion. Now that the welterweight division has lost both Hearns and the dominant Sugar Ray Leonard, McCrory is seen as the natural successor. The expert opinion in America says that McCrory can outbox Jones any day. McCrory, however, has decided to take the fight to Jones.
I don't think I want to run from Colin Jones this time. I think I'm going to stay there and fight him.
Why?
Why? I just feel I can beat him that way. I don't feel like running. I'm training too hard to be running. I want to get it over quick as possible.
Are you not worried at all by Colin Jones's punching power?
He's a good puncher, but good punchers don't make great fighters, though.
How are you going to stay out of the way?
I got a very good defense. I'm not going to just fight with my head straight in the air. I'm going to throw a punch and look for something back, too. I don't think it's just going to be one man fighting.
Nobody has yet found an answer to Jones. In 21 out of his 25 fights, his opponents have left him with an opening which is filled with a knockout blow. Jones' punches have occasionally rescued him from a massive points deficit. Against a man like McCrory, however, who can also punch, Jones cannot afford to squander the early rounds. In the past, Jones's fans have seen him begin slowly.
When they come to watch me fighting, I think this is what they expect. To see me just hanging on there and waiting for my time and biding my time to get the big win in. But I can assure you for this fight it'll be entirely different. It'll be start punching from the first bell.
And what's going to happen?
Well, that's something that no one can say until after the fight. I'll make no predictions. I just like to go in there in the frame of mind that I'm going to give my all, 120%. You can't do better than that. And all I hope is that I don't let anybody down. Most of all myself and my country, and that we come away a winner.
If Jones can force the pace and make McCrory take chances, then later on today, Britain may be celebrating its second World Boxing Championship in a week.
What a week that would be for British boxing. Don't forget you can see live BBC One tonight at 10:30 the fight for the World Welterweight Championship between Colin Jones of Wales and Milton McCrory, United States. That's live from Reno, Nevada at 10:30 on BBC One tonight, and the weigh-in will be showing in this programme this afternoon at about 4:45, 4:40 to 4:45.
Good evening. Yes, coming up live in a few moments from Reno, Nevada, Colin Jones of Wales against Milton McCrory for the WBC World Welterweight title. Now, this is the championship left vacant by the great Sugar Ray Leonard and held for a time in the 70s by John H. Stracey. As you know, Charlie Magri has already claimed a world title for Britain this week. Can the big-hitting Jones do the same? Well, Charlie's here to watch this his one-time Olympic teammate in action, and so is Alan Minter, one of the few British boxers to actually know what it's like to win a world title in the States. We'll be hearing from both the chaps after the action, but now we can go live to ringside and join Harry Carpenter.
Thank you, Des, and welcome to the ringside at Reno, Nevada, the convention center. The time here, 2:30 in the afternoon. And that is the Royal Scarlet Brigade heralding the arrival to the ringside of Colin Jones of Wales. This fight, as you've heard, for the vacant WBC welterweight championship. And here comes Colin Jones, led by that banner with his name on, carried by two mining brothers from Mountain Ash, Keith and Kelvin Bevan. There's something like 150 Welsh supporters here, and they are giving Jones a rousing reception as he makes his way to the ring for the greatest fight of his life, accompanied by Eddie Thomas, his manager, former British and Commonwealth and European welterweight champion, the same titles that Jones himself has held. But Eddie never got to fight for the world title. Jones here has. He'll be 24 on Monday. At the weigh-in earlier today, Jones scaled 10 stone and 6 pounds, just a pound inside the limit. And he looks cool and totally relaxed. He's been here 3 weeks and thoroughly acclimatized to the height of Reno, Nevada, which is nearly 5,000 feet above sea level. And here's the man Jones must fight from Detroit, Milton McCrory, 21 years old. And he has brought any number of supporters from that famous Kronk boxing team of Detroit, of which he's a member. They're all around the ringside in red and gold. So the atmosphere is being set for this vacant world title. And it sounds to me as though Milton McCrory has got the Motown sound behind him. A tall man, 6'1". He'll have some 5 inches height advantage over Jones. Jones, of course, has the punch. Here's the MC, Jimmy Lennon.
King production in conjunction with the Reno and Sparks Convention Authority and Visitors Authority. This will be 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC, World Boxing Council Welterweight Championship, of course, of the world. The title was vacated by Sugar Ray Leonard, the former champion. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you on my right, from Gorsan in Wales,
of formalities. All the anthems and all the rest of the ceremonial was got rid of some 10 or 15 minutes before the fighters left the dressing room. So now we're set to go with 12 rounds or less for the WBC Welterweight Championship. Can Jones complete an amazing British double in 5 days? Charlie Magri won the World Flyweight Championship on Tuesday. Can Jones win the 10.5 stone title on the Saturday, some 8,000 miles from Wembley, where Charlie won? We're in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Off we go. And instantly you can see the difference in height between these two. Some 5 inches taller McCrory, and possibly 2 inches or slightly more advantage in reach. And there's music blaring out as these two go to work. Jones, the man who can come from behind at any stage in a fight and turn it round with just one punch. McCrory all along has said that he's going to take the fight to Jones, and he's doing just that. And he's moving it straight in with jab and left hook. And Jones grins at him. McCrory won his first 17 fights inside the distance. As he stepped up in class in the last 3, he's had to go the full distance. Jones started this fight a 4-1 underdog, and a lot of money has been invested by the Welsh supporters here at 4-1. It might turn out to be the best gamble of all in this gambling city of Reno. McCrory, poker-faced, boxing beautifully, from behind that long reach. Covering well with the gloves against those snaking left jabs. McCrory's going to try and test his chin with the right hand early on. Feeling in the Jones camp that he's got to get to work on the body of McCrory. He's got to try and get inside and really give him some punishment around the ribs. So far, Colin has done all his work to the head. McCrory punching faster and more often in this opening round. And Jones's face already looking quite scarlet, where McCrory's gloves found him. And the pace is quite fast, even at the start. And that clearly is McCrory's round as they go back to the corners at the end of the first. And McCrory did just what he said he would before the fight, that he would come out attacking Jones. Jones reluctant to sit down in his corner. Eddie Thomas wiping his face as we have the mandatory young lady to hold up the round numbers. Well, this is a typical start to any Jones fight. If you remember with the 2 Kirkland-Lang fights, he fell behind by a mile in the early rounds. But when it came to the 9th, there was only one man in it when the punches began to fly. Jones from Gorsingham, which is just a few miles north of Swansea. Former grave digger, Jones, mine worker, electrician and carpenter, one of 8 children. Father sitting at the ringside watching this. McCrory, winner of all his 20 pro fights, known as the Iceman. A right-hand injury last year, and that might have accounted for the fact that His latest 3 fights has gone the distance, and Jones catches him with the right. Stropped it across the jaw of McCrory. And suddenly McCrory felt the weight of Jones' punch and knows what's there now. And Jones knows now that he can catch it. They're expecting the left hook from Jones. He might surprise him with the right. Telegraphs the right hand. Putting together good combination. The man from Detroit. A great question mark now arises. Just how hard does McCrory punch, and how much of this will Jones be able to take before he gets his own good punch in? Coming forward all the time, walking onto the left. Certainly threatening damage with the right. Hand comes straight through on his mouth. He's grinning a lot. These two have gone off at a fast pace. Round on the first one. Round 3 coming up, and this is the round McCrory said he would win in. And from surplus water, being wiped off the face of Jones as he comes out to the third. All along, McCrory predicted 3 rounds. Staggers McCrory. Jones just ignored the left jabs, walked straight through them and found him with the right. So what's going to come out on top? Skill or the punch? McCrory still staying fairly cool under pressure. Cries behind me from McCrory supporters telling him to keep his hands up. Jones covering up, walking inside the punches, trying to find a way inside where he can nail the man from Detroit. Blinks again as he takes the right. The volume of punches coming from McCrory, finding Jones' head again and again and again. And Jones ignoring it, walking through it all, waiting to put in one big punch. It's going just the way one thought it would.
Look at that!
Actually, Jones occasionally quite cleverly picking off punches on his glove. And he forces McCrory back and back. And McCrory's hitting him more or less at will sometimes around the head, and it makes no difference. This is typical Colin Jones. The end of the third round, and some round that was between the two of them. McCrory did much more of the scoring, but he didn't make the prediction come true. He said the third round, and it didn't work. Well, back in our London studio, Alan Minter's had a chance to see 3 rounds. What do you think of it so far, Alan?
Well, it's a very good fight on McCrory's part, Harry. I've given McCrory the first 3 rounds. But the thing is, Jones is dangerous all the time. What he's doing is pressing forward. He's taking his time. It looks as though McCrory's hitting Jones at will, but he's not. Incidentally, he's getting Jones on the gloves a lot of the time. And I honestly believe that it's a matter of time before Jones lands a big left or right hand on McCrory's chin and knock him out.
Alan, I do hope you're right, and there are a lot of people here from Wales who are hoping for just that. A little bit disappointed, the Welsh here today, when they heard that Wales had lost the big rugby game in Ireland. All right, let's see what Colin Jones can do in round 4. Last fight in Denmark in November, when he won the European title from Hans-Henrik Palm of Denmark in 2 rounds. He's won his last 4 fights, or had won his last 4 fights in 3 rounds or less. Jones goes to find the right, big pile driving right hand brought from way back. Jones, of course, famous amateur, ABA champion, fought in the Olympics in Montreal in 76, turned pro in 77. Been a pro 3 years longer than McCrory. And the chase goes on. Still Jones covers up. Gloves and arms taking a lot of these punches. Hard fight. Good left and right. Big sweeping attack from Jones. Not much style about him, but he's going for McCrory. Now then, will he wear McCrory down? Will McCrory tire? Keep poking that left hand up, that long left arm, that black snake that keeps popping out. He gets tired of doing this. How much of Jones's punches can he absorb before he wilts? McCrory's nose, red. Well, he knows now that Jones can take a punch as well as give one. Oh, good right hand, that's the best shot of the fight. And Jones takes that and still comes on. McCrory throwing every punch he's ever learned. And it doesn't stop Jones advancing. So 4 rounds completed. fancy footwork just to try to tell Jones that he's still fresh, and he grins and nods and says, no, you didn't get me. So we're getting a touch now of the old Muhammad Ali stuff. One of McCrory's heroes, and to some extent he's modelled his boxing on Ali, and here's an example of it. Maybe he's decided to try to stay right away this time. So this is McCrory. He's shown every willingness to mix it with a known puncher, and that's brave. Good short right from the American. Must take something out of Jones. Holding with one hand and hitting with the other, Jones. Oh, good left. Poked right through the defences of McCrory. Short and sharp. So Jones is seeing the opportunities very clearly indeed. Jones has decided he can't really get to the body. That's the way the camp thought he might work. McCrory leaves one careless opening. Jones almost certainly will swing a big punch through it. Blood again on McCrory's place. McCrory getting the big come on from his fans, putting in all the work, doing most of the scoring. Jones still backs him up. Actually, McCrory said he'd be backing Jones up, so that little prediction went west as well. And there's some blood on McCrory's face. He dabs at the left-hand side of his face as he comes back to the corner. He may have a mark underneath his left eye. Certainly bleeding now, much more heavily from the nose, McCrory.
Well, squeeze it up again.
And there's just a touch of anxiety in that corner. I don't think he's cut around the eyes, but there was certainly a lot of blood on his face, probably coming from the nose.
Underneath the nostril and squeeze it. Underneath the squeeze.
So the Jones punches are getting through. And Jones at this point must be well behind on point. No question of that. But as we've seen before in his fights, that sometimes makes no difference. Jones comes out still looking strong for round 6. And McCrory himself still pumping out these punches with these long arms at a fair rate. Jones staying close to him, trying to find a way in. He can't afford to stand off. Is sheer strength and determination and assault going to overcome the superior boxing skills of McCrory? That's the fascinating question in Reno. Again, that left hand of Jones shoots out and finds the damaged nose of McCrory, and again. McCrory's defense is just beginning to look slightly suspect. He He may be getting tired. Jones, and a good left downstairs. That's the first time he's really caught McCrory to the body, and suddenly McCrory isn't punching quite as often as we come near the end of the sixth. And the fascinating possibility beginning to emerge here that maybe Jones is too strong for him. Very doubtful now whether Jones can ever win this on points. He's probably going to have to stop him. Good left, right through the guard, right onto that damaged nose. And the going is getting tougher all the time for McCrory. And Jones is relentless. Welsh firebrand, this man. Six. Halfway through. And there's a grim look of real determination across the Jones face as he comes out of the system. And McCrory now perhaps realizes that he's going to have to box right through to the bitter end if he wants to win this. And all the time the danger may well be increasing. And the right begins to catch up as well. The strength and the ruthlessness of Jones is really amazing. He's soaked up enough punches off McCrory to stop a lot of men. None of it at the moment seems to have made any difference, except, of course, on the judges' card. Jones looks as though those first 6 rounds just haven't made any difference. Nice little left to the body again from Jones. The ratio of punch to punch now from the two men is much different. The leads are beginning to fall short and are becoming fewer from McCrory. Not doing much punching, you'll notice, just keeping out of trouble. I'm just wondering whether McCrory's arms aren't becoming very, very tired indeed. I honestly think Colin Jones is enjoying this. He's got a look of total satisfaction on his face. Absolutely in his element. Everything now depends whether McCrory's feet can keep him out of trouble. Great punches, sweeping their way through to the body of McCrory. McCrory looking less and less likely at this point to stay with Jones. His nose badly damaged, blood all over his face. Still strong though, pushing Jones away. The going getting rougher and rougher. And each round noticeably now is much, much closer. And in fact, that may well be the first decisive round for Jones. So, that corner will be feeling pretty confident at this point, I would imagine. They see a marked change coming over this line. Eddie Thomas facing him, elder brother Ken on the right as we look at it, and with his arm through the ropes with the bottle is the trainer Gavin Bell.
Take it, baby. Tipping that jab. Can you put a adrenaline chloride on that? Okay. Give me the towel. Give me the towel. Okay, box it. Hands up and move. Box it.
Eight's coming up. Two men always out before the bell. McCrory starts the round fresh and light on his feet. Those 4-1 odds against Jones are looking pretty sick at the moment. A mark coming up underneath Jones's left eye. Could be a nasty swelling beginning to emerge there. Back him up, ice. The McCrory supporters shouting behind me. The ice could just be beginning to melt. Look at the way he's using this ring now. McCrory all over the ring, and he's getting booed for it. They don't like the evasion, and even the referee is saying to McCrory, come on, want a bit more than this, claps his hands at him. Because McCrory now is totally negative. Footwork only. This is escape at all costs for McCrory now. And McCrory getting roundly booed. The Americans don't like somebody who runs. Well, they saw enough of it from Muhammad Ali. Eighth round, 4 more to come after this. Surely he can't keep escaping. And Jones is cut now underneath the left eye. That was the bump that I was telling you about that was beginning to appear, and now it's been ripped open. But it's below the eye, and that is not dangerous. A complete chase throughout the entire 3 minutes, Jones, and a mixture of applause and booing for the man who was running. An amazing, relentless chase by Colin Jones of Wales in this attempt to win the vacant WBC Welterweight Championship, the title that Sugar Ray Leonard used to hold. And McCrory now running for life. Can McCrory's legs steer him clear of trouble? That might be the only question left unanswered now. still got his wits about him, still keeping the gloves up high. The 9th. Twice in Jones' life, the 9th has been a fateful round. Twice he beat Kirkland Lang in the 9th, coming from a mile behind to do it. And in Colin's mind, he'll be thinking that too. Just moving away. Fortunately for McCrory, he rode it, but only just. And again, the boos ring out for the Americans. And all the time, Jones is reducing the deficit. He lost a lot of ground early on, but he's making it up now. Welsh cuts, bringing Jones on and on. And McCrory taking these punches to body and head very well indeed. You've got to admire McCrory's guts here, because he's taking a lot of very good Jones punches, and he hasn't wilted yet, but he might be. If only Jones could get him in a corner and keep him there for a bit. McCrory's legs seem to me to be getting slower and slower. He's beginning to find him round the chin. The resistance is running out from McCrory. The 9th round. Can Jones do it again in the 9th? Oh, there's the bell. And McCrory looks at him and blows as he goes back to his corner, as much as to say, what is this whirlwind that I've discovered in my life? And the whole place now alive with the expectation that we may see the upset that Wales threatens. McCrory seems to me to be very near the end of his tether. And Jones on the other side will be looking across and thinking, I've very nearly got this man, and I've very nearly got the world title. 3 to go, and the excitement here now is absolutely intense. The whole place can see Jones approaching victory. The chase will start again. And in he goes straight away. And suddenly McCrory's legs won't carry him very far. He's dead tired. He's almost out on his feet, in my opinion, hanging all over Jones. He doesn't know where he is. He looks to his corner. He can't stand the pace anymore. Jones has got him at the very edge of defeat. Can't quite put him away yet. In he goes through again. The jab bites into McCrory's face. A badly damaged face now. This is an absolutely sensational performance from Jones in America. Welsh stock running high. British boxing prestige going well. Surely there's time enough left for Jones to finish this. We're in the 10th. 2 more to come after this. That must surely be time enough for him finally to nail the man. McCrory has found a little new lease of life. The Welsh tornado comes on. Blood all over McCrory's face. two really good, solid body punches. Could well do this. Somewhere McCrory finds courage and strength and keeps going, just. Closing moments of the round now that are so desperate for McCrory as the strength ebbs. And this is a remarkable round from McCrory's point of view, because he ran and ran for 2 rounds, and now suddenly he's standing his ground occasionally and punching back, and he's hurt Colin Jones, and he may have hit him low. 2 rounds left. And possibly Jones only moments away from a truly remarkable victory on American soil. Can he just find him? Jones will know exactly what he's got to do. The eternal chase. Always McCrory moving away to his left, away from Jones's big left. He finds Jones with good right there, and another one. He's finding him with good punches. And Jones is now being frustrated of a victory that only moments ago seemed his. McCrory backing up all the time. The legs holding him up somehow. What a fight this has proved to be between 2 good men. And 2 very, very courageous men. Almost trapped him there as McCrory moves the wrong way. They fall into each other's arms. The pair of them now, very near the end of their strength, even Jones. On he comes, throwing his bombs. Minter came to America and showed the Americans how to do it. And Colin Jones is doing something very similar. Oh, he got him with the right. McCrory takes that well. The man just won't drop. What a marvellous battle. McCrory showing the flashy stuff inside to convince the judges to get the points. Marvellous fight. Oh, 2 men absolutely worthy of each other. Jones goes to his corner looking slightly fresher than McCrory. And the McCrory people now looking much more convinced about things than they were 2 or 3 rounds ago. So, we have 1 to go, and it's all in the lap of the gods now. Whether Jones can find 1 big punch that will finally drain all the resistance out of McCrory, who's kept going amazingly well ever since things started to turn against him in the 7th. This man is very nearly at the end of his tether and has been for some time, but courage has kept him going. And Jones must be feeling frustrated, but he only has to go 3 minutes. He's got 3 minutes to find the winning punch. Can he do it? And they're eager to get at each other before the bell. the final round. Can Jones bring a second world title to Britain within a week? McCrory backs up and gets booed. Low one, and McCrory's won. Blood all over the white satin trunk of McCrory. His own blood. Jones coming in, looking for the kill. McCrory standing and flashing those little punches that don't mean a lot, but catch the eye. Both men know how desperate it is. This whole place is alive with excitement. Not for 4.5 years has anybody taken Colin Jones the distance. Looks as though he may have to go right to the bitter end here. Jones is putting it at the finish here. And he can't quite nail the man. He's come so close to finishing it. McCrory was on the edge of defeat some 3 rounds ago, and he survived remarkably well. It's almost a miracle. Jones striving and striving right to the end. Whatever happens now, this has been a gigantic effort by Colin Jones of Wales to take this world title on American soil from an American. He hits him with a left hook. McCrory survives that. McCrory gets his own punch back at Jones, and this incredible fight keeps up its pace to the very last bell. Great effort by both men. There's the bell. What a fight that was. They've never seen a fight like that in Reno. What a fight. Everybody jumping in the ring, everybody congratulating everybody else. That was an epic battle. And now we wait to see how the 3 neutral judges have scored it. Quite clearly, McCrory was in front and a long way in front at the start, but he lost a lot of ground after that. But they're hoisting him in the air here, confident they've won the victory. Well, we must wait and see whether they have. Whatever happens, what a fight Colin Jones put up. Marks under both eyes now, as you can see. Put everything into that. There's nothing left in him now, except hope. Hope that the 3 judges will have gone for him. Remember, McCrory did a lot of backing up from the 7th onwards, but he had a big lead. And he's had a good last round. Well, it's been an amazing week for British boxing. Charlie Magri doing it at Wembley on Tuesday and bringing the World Flyweight Championship to Britain. And now Colin Jones, whose birthday it'll be on Monday. He's 24 Monday. Jones has come to America and shown the Americans what Welsh courage and grit is all about.
Not quite enough.
Not quite enough. You heard yourself there. Eddie Thomas said, Eddie has settled for defeat. Isn't that sad that so much effort should come to naught? So we wait and wait for the announcement of the judges. judges, Dimas Hernandez from Venezuela, Newton Campos from Brazil, and Jose Juan Guerra from Mexico. And now the supporters of McCrory, who were getting desperately anxious at one time, are beginning to shout for his victory. And Jones goes to his supporters and gets a tremendous cheer from Welsh fans. And here's the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision, and I will read the point totals. Newton Campos, judging at ringside, sees it 116 to 114 in favor of Colin Jones.
He's got one judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Juan Guerra of Mexico sees it 116 to 113 in favor of Milton McCrory.
One apiece. Who's got the designer?
Telecast by Dimas Hernandez de Venezuela. 115 for Milton McCrory. 115 for Colin Jones. It's even a draw.
It's a draw. My word, it's a draw. They'll have to do it all again. Jones has drawn with McCrory for the vacant world welterweight title. What an amazing result. And that's as good as a triumph for Welsh. That's as good as a triumph. And McCrory is sick with dismay. So there it is. Jones gets a draw over 12 rounds in one of the most remarkable fights seen around these parts for a very long time. And so that's a marvellous performance by Jones. Even if he couldn't quite make it stick, he certainly stood up for Wales and for the whole of British boxing here in Reno, Nevada.
Well, an absolutely amazing fight there as we see the Welsh banners. Hello Debs was the sign that Colin Jones' wife down in Wales. An absolutely splendid fight, a thriller, and an amazing decision, and we'll be hearing from Colin Jones in a moment. First, Charlie Magri. We thought here at this end that he probably lost it on points.
Well, the way I looked at it, he kept trying all the time. He was trying to pin the fella down, and McCrory was getting tired towards the end. Colin might have come back towards the end, you know, in the judge's eyes.
Now, in the 9th round, of course, we thought that he was going to really get on top. That was the turning point against Kirkland Lang in both the fights. He seems to have a bit of a time bomb in his mind, Jones, in the 9th rounds.
That's right.
From then on, it looked to be him.
We were thinking about, you know, if he was going to land a big one like he did on Kirkland Lang, but he survived well, that Milton McCrory. He looked like he was getting tired from that point onwards.
Astonishing decision, Alan. We've had draws before, but most unusual for a title as important as this.
Yeah, I thought, you know, I thought Jones had lost the fight, to be honest with you, Des. But fair enough, it's a draw, so at least the guy gets a chance to win the world title again.
So they'll have to go again for the title will remain vacant, won't it?
They've got to do it all over again, and I honestly fancy Jones. Got to be Jones next time round.
Which you've got to give McCrory a great deal of credit, haven't you, tonight?
Very long, very awkward, and plenty of stamina. He kept showing like he was getting tired in a few rounds, but then kept digging his heels in and coming back. But very awkward. I mean, he's 5 inches taller than Jones, which makes him long and awkward, and it's very frustrating to fight them sort of fighters. But now Jones has seen what he's up against. I think you've got to fancy Jones.
Interrupt you because we've got Jones there now talking to Harry.
He kept moving, he moved well and nice, and if I won't for myself, I don't think it'll be much of a fighter tonight. I come to win the title without a doubt. Very difficult coming to America to win the title, but I give it my all, and I'm sure he did, and it was quite a good fight.
Well, you must be a little disappointed, but the draw in America is not a bad performance, is it?
It's not a bad performance. I'm a little bit disappointed at my finishing. I thought that I could have tagged him earlier on in the fight to slow him up. But that's very good. He's a very clever man. And
he had a lot of guts at the end too, didn't he?
Yeah, fair play. He stuck in there and he thought, well, he knew that if he was going to keep backing off me, he'd had it. And he decided to hold the ground and he did well, fair play.
Anyway, all again, you think? You have to go through it all again with him?
I don't mind. I'll go through anything. I really enjoyed the fight. It was fantastic.
Well done, Colin. Let me bring Eddie Thompson. Eddie, what do you think about all that?
Well, don't you think it was a fantastic fight, Harry?
I thought it was an epic fight.
It was.
Tremendous.
And I think it'll go down in history. But the return will be fantastic.
Now, what
And
do you think about
Ari,
it? Would you come to America again for the return?
well, if the money's right, we would. But it's got to be right. It's got to be a fantastic attraction.
I heard you say, we could hear on our mic, you said something to Colin, not quite enough, and you were dead right, it wasn't quite enough, was it?
Well, a couple more shots underneath and he stopped him. He was just missing him by that fraction in those last 2 rounds. And we were praying it would connect, eh?
Anyway, not a bad decision on American
Oh, yes.
right?
Yes, a very fair decision. Because remember, his shots, one of his shots was worth 10 of the other fellas. But he was only flicking, wasn't he?
That's right. Anyway, well done.
And Harry, I'd like to say this. He'd only boxed 3 or 4 rounds in the past 18 months. Actual fighting. You know. And after that, don't you think it's a fabulous performance?
I think it's a tremendous performance.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's the camera. Do you want to wave to Wales?
I'd like to say hello to my boy, Simon.
Lovely.
Thank you, Harry.
Well, Eddie Thomas, in no doubt at all that it was a fabulous performance. We all think that. I'm sure you do too. It looks as though they're going to meet again. Obviously, they'll have to meet again, Charlie. Would you fancy Jones for that?
I'll fancy him next time because you know exactly what he's got up against him. McCrory was so awkward. It took him about 7, 8 rounds to find out what he's... to stand there and pick his punches with him. But I thought Colin was going to knock him out. After that 9th round, he slowed right up.
And of course, McCrory, Alan Minter, will have had a taste now of the punching power of Jones, although I think it's fair to say he never really got the big one home, did he?
No, as Eddie Thomas was just saying, Jones was missing by fractions, and I think if he was to lengthen his punches a little bit more, I think it'll be a different story next time. And I think, yeah, Jones could knock him out, and hopefully we would like to see it in this country.
Wouldn't it be splendid?
Yeah, fantastic.
Alan, thanks very much. We remain for the moment with the one world title then that this man Charlie won for us this week. Colin Jones will do it all again. Just to remind you, a draw tonight. An amazing result against Milton McCrory. A thrilling fight. Hope you enjoyed it. From all of us here, good night for now. Today later on. But first we'll be going live to Las Vegas for tonight's WBC World Welterweight title fight. Colin Jones from Wales and Milton McCrory of America meeting for the championship vacated by the great Sugar Ray Leonard. Of course, it's the second meeting of Jones and McCrory. Their first fight back in March in Reno ended in that draw.
Great effort by both men. There's the bell. What a fight that was.
Well, with me, a man who knows all about winning a world title fight in the United States, a former middleweight champion, Alan Minter. And you won your title, of course, in Las Vegas. Now, I understand that the temperature over there is well over 100. That's going to be tough for both of them, isn't it?
It's going to be very tough, you know. Everything's in McCrory's favour. You know, he's been American, he's used to the heat. You know, I boxed in a very high temperature, but the temperature in Vegas was 107. But I was in an air-conditioned unit, so there was no problems. But
they're outdoors this time.
They're outdoors, and it's in the afternoon. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Now, Jones is going to have to start perhaps a little quicker than last time. He let the sort of first 5 rounds go, didn't he, really?
He clinched it by winning the last 4 rounds. The thing is, he's got to start, he's got to pressure McCrory. I think his tactics for this fight is to go to the body and keep working to the body, hopefully to drop McCrory's guard, and then catch him with his big punches to the head.
Now, we've been reading that McCrory had problems with his right hand last time, and that's all better now, and he's going to catch Jones with that. Do you go for that story?
I mean, he's probably making excuses, Des, you know. I mean, they say McCrory can punch, but the thing is, because he never produced the goods last time, he's got an injured right hand, but probably see anyway. But the thing is that Colin Jones can punch with either hand, and he must be probably the best pound-for-pound puncher in this country at the moment, or Europe.
Well, let's have a look over there now, and we can see live now Colin Jones just entering the ring. Eddie Thomas, his manager, behind him there, of course. And Jones, incidentally, at the weigh-in today, was half a pound under the welterweight limit, which is 10 stone 7. Looks very relaxed. The fight in the open air, but there's a canopy over that. And we'll be waiting. There you saw Eddie Thomas, there you see the Welsh flag, and there's a lot of supporters there with Jones. And now the McCrory camp. Milton McCrory thought he'd won their last fight back in March, and a lot of people thought he had too, but it was adjudged a draw. Nice scenes there, Alan.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, you know, you're miles away from home. You see the Welsh flag, and it really does something for you.
How important is it to have some fans with you? We were hearing from Colin earlier today when Harry Carpenter was talking to him that he felt it very important indeed. He's got apparently about 100 Welsh supporters there with him. You used to have a lot of followers going there with you too,
yeah,
didn't you?
You definitely need support. I mean, you're like away from home for like 3 weeks before the fight. You're lonely. All of a sudden, your fans start appearing, and then you realise what you're there for. You're there for the championship of the world. They've come thousands of miles to watch you win it, and you want to produce the goods.
You can be encouraged by that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Must say, Jones always looks confident, but there's McCrory going through his motions. Now, he's very tall for a welterweight, of course. He's 6 feet 1. Now we can hear some ring announcements.
Who will be doing the telecast of the fight. An outstanding sportscaster, not only of the United States, but of the world, Mr. Keith Jackson.
We haven't got sound contact with our man at ringside, Harry Carpenter, yet, so hence I'm picking up commentary for the moment on the pictures that we're seeing, but we should shortly make contact with Harry, who's there at ringside, because we were talking to him before we came on air. Jones, as I say, was 10-6.5 at the weigh-in today, and McCrory, incidentally, Alan, seemed to have a little problem just making the weight. In fact, Harry Carpenter pointed out that the scale seemed to tip just over 10 stone 7, the limit, but Jose Sullivan, the WBC president, said that's okay, let it go.
Yeah.
Now, I would have thought that perhaps the Jones camp might have had cause for a bit of complaint there.
Yeah, it could have done, but the thing is, it's a little bit petty if you're right on the ball, more or less. But I used to always weigh in, the middleweight limit was 11 stone 6. I would always come in dead on the weight. If it trickled a little bit to the heavy side, no one used to know.
Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't make that much difference.
No.
But it was never then an indication with you that you were having real trouble making the weight, and you don't think it's an indication that McCrory has been struggling either. But he's a big man, isn't he? He's a tall man for that weight.
But the thing is, if the fight's made at a certain limit, why come in under? You know, it's always better to come in dead on.
Well, Colin Jones, of course, showed in the past just how well he can hit against Kirkland Lang twice. He lost he lost the first 8 rounds against Kirkland both times.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we can hear the ring announcements.
For the next bout of the evening by the Nevada State Athletic Commission and the WBC. The judges are Angel Tovar of Venezuela, Ray Solis of Mexico, and Selmo Escobedo of Mexico. The timekeeper is Eddie O'Toole. Counting at the knockdowns is Charlie Roth. The attending physicians at ringside, Dr. Donald Romeo and Dr. Flip Pomansky, and the referee is from the country of Panama, Isaac Herrera. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing in the red corner, fighting out of South Wales, weighing in at 146.5 pounds. His professional record consists of 24 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 draw. And ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a pleasure to introduce Colin Jones. And in the new corner, fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 147 pounds. He is ranked number 5 by the WBA and number 6 by the WBC. His professional record consists of 20 wins, no defeats, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing... All right, I've just been corrected.
I'm going to go when the MC...
This gentleman is number 1, rated by both the WBA and the WBC. Again, he fights out of Detroit, Michigan. Introducing Milton Iceman McCrory.
Well, welcome to Las Vegas, and I can tell you that this is a most extraordinary occasion because the heat here is absolutely overpowering. They have a canopy, as I heard Des say earlier, over the ring, and my word, do they need it, because I'm sitting out here with the sun on my back. I'm told it's 105 in the shade, and if I stand up off my seat for 30 seconds, I can't sit down again. That's how hot it is. The fight now ready to go. Colin Jones, who has had some problems here, he and his manager Eddie Thomas this week, over the money, over whether the fight would take place. The weigh-in today was an extraordinary scene, but now all that is past. 12 rounds for the vacant WBC, the World Boxing Council Welterweight Championship. They are, in fact, I suppose, coming up for round 13 of that fight, because they went 12 in Reno, Nevada in March, and they couldn't find a decision. So here it is again, Jones versus Milt McCrory of Detroit. 6'1" he stands, McCrory. Milt, the stilt he's known as, he's also known as the Iceman. And McCrory brings into this fight today an allegedly healed right hand, which he said he didn't have when he first fought Jones, and Jones will get a surprise. Well, McCrory's been having trouble making the weight, there's no doubt about that. He had a real struggle to get in at 10.7, and I'm still not convinced he was exactly on 10.7 when he came to the scales today. So if he's had a lot of trouble making weight, this man is going to be weak. And we know that Jones has a punch, and so it's going to be interesting to see whether McCrory's right hand, the healed right hand, is going to do something destructive, or can Jones from Wales pull off the welterweight championship of the world, which no Welshman has ever held. The last British fighter to hold it, of course, was John H. Stracey. The referee from Panama, Isaac Pereira. And now at 2:39 p.m. in Las Vegas, with the sun hammering down out of a totally blue sky, and a fair old crowd gathered here at the Dunes Hotel, Las Vegas. Jones in the first fight started slowly and gave away certainly 4 or 5 rounds early on. Jones 24, McCrory 21. McCrory has never been beaten. And there's the right hand of McCrory shown very early on. Jones some 5 inches shorter. Neither of these men ever been on the floor as professionals. There's a lot of Welsh support at this ringside. Jones has brought some 400 supporters, and I can tell you from what I've been seeing in the last couple of hours that they've been preparing themselves very merrily indeed for this fight. And if Jones wins this, there is going to be some Welsh festival here in Las Vegas. Incidentally, this ring, which is built in the old car park of the Dunes Hotel, is overshadowed by another famous hotel here, the Caesars Palace, where Tom Jones, the great Welsh pop singer, year after year comes back and scores tremendous success with Las Vegas. So can another Jones boy from Wales also take Las Vegas by storm? There can't have been too many world title fights held in such heat as this. The canopy is a godsend. It's keeping the sun off them, but even so, the air temperature is very, very hot indeed. And if this fight goes at any pace, then it's going to be a real test of stamina and just rugged durability. McCrory feeling his way behind the left jab as he did in the first fight in Reno. This is the stylist, McCrory. And Jones is the all-out stamina, go-for-broke fighter. Oh, there's the left and he's over. First time in his professional career, and Jones is on the floor in the first round. Left. Looking at Eddie Thomas, very sensibly and coolly, winks at Thomas and beats the count. Jones down in the first round. There's the bell. It was right on the bell. And Jones, for the first time in his professional career, has been put on the floor. A man called Lloyd Lee once did it to him as an amateur. Now McCrory does it to him. It wasn't the right that McCrory said he was bringing with him this time. It was the left hand, and here it is. That was a beautiful punch, right on the point of the chin. And Jones went down, shook his head, was totally in command of his senses. He looked at Eddie Thomas throughout the count, and Thomas gave him the signal when to get up. So there's the first sensation of this fight. McCrory brings over the punch that puts Jones on the floor. And what a setback that is for the Welsh challenge for this welterweight title. The old title held, of course, by Sugar Ray Leonard. And some puffiness already coming up over Jones's right eye. Well, I hope that minute rest, as far as Jones is concerned, has been enough for him. A punch like that and a knockdown like that in this heat really means twice as much as it would under ordinary circumstances. So a disastrous start for Jones. No knockdowns in the first fight. One in the first round of this. Well, we've seen Jones start slowly in many fights, and we've seen him pull him out of the fire when he's been miles behind. But one must admit that at this moment, the tall, slim, black McCrory from the famous Kronk stable in Detroit looks like a man in command. And he's getting through with lefts and rights, and Jones is having to take them. McCrory looks quite a different fighter to the one we saw in Reno. He's twice as decisive. Jones is very much a coming forward fighter. He doesn't like to retreat. These are the moments for retreat when McCrory is so much on top. Jones is walking into everything as he comes forward, trying to find his own punch. And McCrory stays cool and poker face. And this sun, in this incredible heat, continues to bear down on this scene in Las Vegas, Nevada. Desert weather. Jones' eyes looking sore. And it's the left hand of McCrory that's giving Jones all the trouble. Jabs and hooks, all getting him. And if McCrory had trouble making the weight, which I'm sure he did, he's made an extraordinarily fast start. It might just be that he's gambling on getting this over fast and doesn't want to go 12. 2 rounds to McCrory. Couldn't have been a worse start, really, for Colin Jones of Wales, the Commonwealth champion and the former British and European champion. This is a very purposeful McCrory indeed. 21 years old, 21 fights, 120, and the one draw with Jones, the only blemish on the record, if you can call it that. He's won 17 inside the distance. He comes from the stable in Detroit that includes the famous Thomas Hearns, the current WBC light middleweight champion. Great stable of fighters. And Jones is getting caught even with wide and telegraph punches.
You'll notice, still coming the only way he knows, that's forward. Different type of boxer will be using these rounds after their bad start to keep out of trouble and conserve strength and try to draw McCrory onto something. But Jones is a forward fighter. But the great secret of Jones's career is that he's always been able to pull out a winning punch when he's most needed it. Fight on McCrory's. There's no way that Jones is picking up any sort of points at all. The swelling coming up at the side of Jones's left eye, just underneath the eye, the side of the face, taking everything. And the whole question is, how much more this can take? Tormenting Jones with that left hand, and he has done for 3 rounds, including the knockdown in the first. That was done with the left as well. Well, the two of them look as though they're coping with it fairly well so far. There's a long way to go, 9 rounds in fact. The first 3 are all McCrory. Aggressive referee, Mr. Pereira from Panama. First time he's really had to come between them. And McCrory, if anything, is going faster now in the 4th than he was in the first 3. The amazing thing to me is that he had the trouble making the weight. Usually when men have to make the weight for these sort of fights, they leave so much behind in the gym and in the sweat box, getting the weight off, that they don't have a lot to bring into the ring with them. But McCrory seems to be bringing everything in, and a lot more than he brought into Reno with him, when he didn't have trouble making the weight. He was half a pound under. It could be that McCrory underestimated Colin Jones the first time round, and he's learned something. This is a case of a man purely outboxing another man. Just about every combination McCrory throws finds Colin Jones, but Jones still comes forward and he's still looking for the one punch. The fight sends the shivers right down the body of this black challenger. Jones has taken all of McCrory's best punches, and he hasn't gone down again since the first. And one begins to wonder whether McCrory can keep his pace up in this heat. And Jones gives him a sidelong look as he passes him on the way to the corner, as much as to say, you haven't got me yet. 4 rounds completed. And the corner men in this fight having to do a lot of work on their men in this heat to try and cool them down in the 1 minute, and that's hardly long enough in between them. This is a very expensive fight. Jones is getting $450,000 every time he $300,000 as near as makes it, and he got more than that for the first fight. A little bit of replay here. That was a fair left hand by Jones, the one success that he had in the fourth. Jones is coming out aggressively again, coming forward. Somehow, he has to disturb the rhythm and the concentration of McCrory, and sow that little doubt in McCrory's mind that he's on the way to victory.
That's all right, very good. There's just that little doubt in your mind whether McCrory is going to keep this up and go on to victory. This is very much in the pattern of the first fight. McCrory stole most of the early rounds and then went into a sort of coma between the 6th and the 11th and won nothing. And this man Jones does have the most enormous reserves of stamina and sheer determination to win. This is a much more even round. This is the first round in which Jones has really showed that he can cope with McCrory. Well, that was easily the best round Jones has had so far. Keeping up this
relentless pressure on the man they call the Iceman. Well, heat always melts ice. There's blood in McCrory's mouth. Jones is working very well with the left hook to the body. McCrory is concentrating on the head punches. And this is almost uncannily a repeat of their first fight in Reno in March. And the whole tenor of the fight, the whole complexion of the fight has suddenly changed because Jones has taken it into his hands again now. He's not picking up the punches that were rattling him earlier on. McCrory's arms are a little slower, but the punches are not snapping out with the same crispness. And if you notice, there's much more of this inside stuff. Now, there's a lot of clinching. That's the pace and the heat beginning to tell. They need these little rests inside from time to time. And McCrory now being made to back up. Good right from McCrory, but not enough to put Jones down. Jones has been down once in this fight. At the end of the first round from the left. McCrory's pouring it all in again, and Jones comes through it. The sweat is pouring down the face of McCrory. Jones looks cooler. And the two of them give each other a little pat. Well, there's another little point perhaps I can make. I went up into this ring and tried out the canvas, and the canvas is on, I would think, at least 1.5 inches of foam rubber. And it really is very, very soft and mushy, and it's almost impossible to get any sort of spring out of this canvas. And I would have thought, for a man who relies on his feet so much as McCrory, that that canvas will tell on him rather more than it will on the more stolid-footed Colin Jones. Anyway, that's just a little theory. Meanwhile, the action is steaming and as sultry as the weather. And there's blood on the forehead of Colin Jones. The action in this round is really, really torrid. These two are so well matched, it's quite unbelievable. Now, where that blood came from, I don't know. It's disappeared. It may have come from the mouth of McCrory, that certainly is bleeding, transferred to gloves and then onto the forehead of Jones, but it's disappeared now. There's blood from McCrory's nose as well. What a good left that was. Jabbed McCrory's head right back. This amazing fighting machine, Jones, coming forward, and he really now must be beginning to worry McCrory, who must think to himself, I've had 4 or 5 really good rounds, and this man's still there, and he's coming for me. And
And he's very nearly got him, I tell you. Just like the first fight, McCrory seems to be wilting. Round 7. Tremendous lashing punches being put out by Jones now. And to his credit, McCrory has taken them well. And Jones is very close to winning this. The man is rocking and reeling all over the place. He can only hang on and hope. Amazing turnaround. There's the bell. What an amazing turnabout. And McCrory goes back, shaking his head, limping towards his corner, and can barely find the energy to slump onto the stool. The 8th. Now these are the moments when, if McCrory was having real trouble making the weight, that it'll find him out. The turnaround has come just a little earlier than in the Reno fight. One of the ringsiders here is Howard Winston, a former world featherweight champion and the last Welshman to hold a world title. What a moment it'll be for him if he can say he was there the day that another Welshman won a world title. Perhaps understandably the pace slows a little. McCrory still springy on the legs. McCrory is boxing his way defensively back into this, using his feet and his reach to keep out of trouble. That says something from McCrory's class, that he can come back after such a bad round as the last one and have such a cool boxing brain as this to pick up points off Jones, which he certainly did. A strangely quiet round after the excitement of the 7th. Colin Jones always happy to be restrained by the referee at the start of every round, eager to get back. Hand of McCrory's, which did so much damage at the start of this fight, back in action again. Jones's aggression has eased off. Did he put too much into the 7th? footwork, which is remarkable in this heat and on this canvas, keeping himself clear of trouble. He may have decided that he built up a big enough lead in the early rounds. He only has to keep going. And certainly the onus now is on Jones to come and take the title. He must be behind. McCrory winks at his corner. These must be really grueling moments up there in that ring under this canopy in this extraordinary heat. Good punch from Jones, and McCrory's in trouble again. The fateful ninth round that Jones loves so much. Surely he's not going to do it again in the ninth. McCrory seems to me at this moment to be living on memory. He survives. That's right enough, Alan. Round 10, 3 to go. Anything could happen. The two great factors in McCrory's success have been the left jab. He's gone southpaw. And he's caught a right hand. Went southpaw and got a right for his pains. He's gone back to orthodox. Well, I was about to say that the two great factors in McCrory's success in this fight so far have been the left hand and the remarkable footwork. And it is remarkable in this heat. And the fact that he had trouble making the weight. But he still has 2.5 rounds to go. And Jones, who looks strong, has that much time to catch up with him still. There's blood at the side of McCrory's left eye. I think he's cut underneath it. But it's not a cut, it's a graze. Good right from McCrory, and Jones just shrugged it off. Amazingly aggressive fight again by Jones, and it is very much in the pattern of the first fight. It's almost a replica, in fact, apart from the knockdown in the first round. There's one very important exception, of course, and that is that Jones at this point is further behind than he was in the first. End of the 10. Let's go. fight when Jones has taken a backward step. Most of the opinion here in fight-conscious Las Vegas was that in this heat, neither of them would be able to go the distance. But it's beginning to look as though it may well go the 12 again. Jones's left eye is puffed. He finished with two very puffed, swollen and marked eyes in the first fight. And McCrory finished with a right hand injury and nose and mouth trouble. Jones smiles as a left catches him on the ribs. Jones badly needs that one blinding right knee punch. Every Welshman in the place, 400 of them or so, willing Jones on. Roaring encouragement. He can't just find that one punch to nail the Iceman. Good round for Jones. He's carried the fight all the way to McCrory. And once more, Jones finishes a round, coming forward and threatening, but still hasn't found the one really important punch. I've just been, in my ears around me, I can hear some of the McCrory supporters telling him that if he doesn't come forward, he's going to go home without a belt. I would have thought that McCrory is pretty well ahead as we come into the 12th and final round. Same sort of doer and testing fight they had the first time. Two well-matched men who brought respect out of each other. And now the crisis moments are here. McCrory started a 2-1 favourite with the local bookmakers in Las Vegas, but they might not be feeling too sure now. Good left hook from Jones. The man is capable of pulling everything out with one punch. McCrory knows that, Jones knows that, we all know that, and that is what makes it all so almost unbearably exciting. All of this place, the entire arena cheering his two on now, under this blazing sun, in the Nevada desert. No more boxing, no more tricks, no more science. Man for man, blood for blood. Who's going to come out on top? Both corners going absolutely berserk, urging their men on. what a fight they've put on again. For the second time. 24 rounds these two have gone. And still it's in the balance. And the tireder man of the two, without any question, is Milton McCrory. The bell, what a fight that was again. And the whole ring is invaded by extraordinarily excited people. Thomas lifts his man, the McCrory supporters lift their man, everybody's lifting everybody else. The whole place is in a delirium of excitement, and all anybody can sensibly do is to wait for the three judges' verdicts. But what a fight it was. And they went the distance in this heat. And that alone is a feat. Believe me, I wouldn't have given much chance for them to go 12 rounds in this. The whole place is scaldingly hot. So now we wait for the calmer moments of the points. And what an amazing thing it would be if it turned out to be a draw again. Jose Suleiman, the president of the World Boxing Council, tried to lay down a rule here that there couldn't be a draw. Well, nowhere in the WBC rules does it say you mustn't have a draw, or you can't have a draw. But Suleiman wanted the judges to name a winner, whatever, even if they had them level. He wanted them to mark one man as the winner, because he didn't want another draw, and he didn't want the title to be left vacant again. But that thought of Suleiman's was overruled at a rules meeting last night by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and in my opinion, rightly so. So there can be a draw. There must be 100 people. Must be 100 people in that ring, if not more. Alan Minter, let's have yours summing up.
Well, Harry, I go for McCrory. The last round was a sensational round by both fighters. The 7th round, Jones won. But in my books, he never done enough all the way through. He was pressuring all the time, but McCrory was picking him up. In my books, it's McCrory.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, Alan. Although we were saying in the previous round, of course, that aggression, even sometimes when he doesn't seem to be scoring, aggression does count with judges here. It's just the way these particular judges here view Jones's aggression.
Yeah, I mean, he was aggressive all the way through.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision.
It's a split decision, so one judge certainly has gone for Jones at least.
Judge Ray Solis scores 115 McCrory, 114 Jones.
1 point in it for McCrory from the first judge.
Judge Angel Tovar scores 114 Jones, 113 McCrory.
1 point in it for Jones. Now who's got it?
And Judge Anselmo Escobedo scores 115 to 111 for the winner by a split decision and new welterweight champion of the world, Milton McCrory.
McCrory has got it. The deciding judge went absolutely overboard for him. 115, 111, and McCrory is the new world welterweight champion as recognized by the WBC. But Jones made another tremendous fight of it. A draw the first time and a split decision this time. I'm going to try and get up into that mob in the ring and have a word with Colin Jones. Wish me luck, Alan.
Battling away on the ringside there to get to Colin Jones. Alan, the judging was remarkable there again, wasn't it? I mean, by 1 point either way, and then a remarkable 4 points difference.
Yeah, I don't know what countries these judges come from, but it's so, you just can't believe how they can be so far apart.
I must say, from this far away, you and I both thought, didn't we, that McCrory had done enough there, especially knocked him down in the first round.
Colin.
Yeah. Here we are. Harry's got him now.
Colin.
Can you have a word with me? Colin, I know I disappointed you, Phil. Tell me about it.
Well, you asked the questions, Harry.
Well,
can't believe it.
Let's start at the beginning. How badly did he hurt you in the first round?
There's more of a stun shot than anything, you know. It didn't hurt me, like, you know. Just obviously I dropped, you know, and my head went a little bit fuzzy. I dropped, so I looked at the corner, winked, and I knew I was all right because I had a little smile on the face, and I knew I was fine, you know.
It was very much like the first fight, wasn't it? You started a little slowly, you came right back into it. Did you feel that I come back enough?
Thought that I'd given enough just to edge it. But
the seventh round, I mean, fantastic. You almost had him gone.
Yeah. I'm very disappointed.
I can understand that, Colin. What? Colin Jones? Eddie Thomas, can you have a word with me?
Yes, sir.
I can understand Colin, he can't talk, it's too much, and you will understand that as an ex-fighter.
Yeah.
The camera's here, Eddie. Now, tell me what you thought about the decision, first of all.
A very, very bad decision. One of them made it a win for Jones. The other fellow made it a draw. He didn't know which way to go. But the other guy made that fellow a clear winner. Well, you know, Colin Jones won from the sixth, didn't he? Nearly every round from the sixth. All Jones. And I know the other guy came back in the last round. He was only point. But Colin Jones is in good shots. I think disgraceful. I've just asked Joseph Sullivan for a return. But he said, Eddie, he won't lose his number one spot as a challenger. So they try and make a voluntary defence to expect an income. But I think the decision is disgraceful. Everything this week, they've tried to cook us in every way. They've brought every money first of all, then they tried to weigh in last night. They tried to pull a fast one. All week they've been doing something, you know, just to catch us off hand. It's a good thing I was on the ball, and I had all my contacts and all my correspondence with me. Otherwise, might have been in a bit of trouble.
Having said all that, you would agree that McCrory is a very fine fighter, right?
Oh, I'm not taking anything from McCrory. He is a fine fighter. In fact, he's a great fighter, like Colin Jones.
Yeah. These two have got great respect for each other.
But I think they should have given a draw again if they were given anything. You know, I think that 116, 111 or whatever, disgraceful.
Are you going to lodge any sort of objection?
Pardon?
Are you going to lodge any sort of objection?
I've just done it to Joseph Sullivan. He's the president of the WBC, and I think he should bring pressure to bear. But he cannot help what the judges did, to be fair to him.
Would you, if they gave you another chance, would you come back to America?
I don't know. You know, we had a fair deal last time. This time we haven't had a fair deal. We even boxed against the climatic conditions, you know, which should suit the black man better than the white man.
But they went well, I mean, for 12 rounds in this heat. Amazing.
Fantastic fight, yeah.
What did you tell Colin when he came back at the end of the first round, when he was knocked down?
Oh, the first round. I missed a shot that decked him. I was getting something from the corner and asking him to get organised, you know, and I missed it. But I said, grab him a bit, or you got to stay close. And he tried to stay close, but this guy, he's a brilliant boxer. You know, you can't take nothing from the man.
I can understand all the disappointment, Eddie, but there may be another chance, and it may all be different next time.
There will be another chance, I think, but let's sit down and think about everything first.
All right, Eddie. Thanks very much. Thank you. So there it is, from the ringside at Las Vegas. Let me now hand you back from all this extraordinary excitement here back to Des Lynam in the London studio.